Well, it is the second day of group stages here at Worlds 2019. I'm joined right now by Jensen from Team Liquid with coverage brought to you by Alienware. Talk a little bit about how their game went versus IG. Unfortunately, a loss for you guys, which I'm sure, I don't know, what does it feel like it's this weird continuing narrative to you based off of the MSI thing?
Not really. I mean, I think we were pretty competitive in the game. We just made a few mistakes, which made the game pretty hard. But I don't know. I think we played fine. There was definitely a lot of things that should have gone differently for us. Like I think we messed up too much with recalling too much when we had control, like vision control and stuff. So I think that made the game hard. But other than that, like I'm not too sad about the way we played.
It feels like so much of that game came down to that Baron fight, where the Baron and then right afterwards the fight. What do you think went wrong in those moments?
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Like we messed up on the vision part a bit. We were fighting back and forth over vision at Baron for a while, and I was pushing side in and stuff. But then once we had the control, we just took some resets and gave them control, and we didn't have any blue orbs. So then they just started Baron, and we were scared to face check it. So then that kind of just decided the game.
Where do you see TL ending up in this group?
I think we could get first in this group. Probably first or second. I think it's hard to say right now, but I definitely think we're a top 2 team in this group.
Given that it's been 24 hours, how do you feel about Damwon after that game? Like, how strong do you think they are, and how maybe easy or difficult do you think they'll be as an opponent again?
I think they'll be a tough opponent. I think they're maybe playing a bit nervous on stage. Not really sure, but I think they're a team that has a lot of potential. So if they play at their peak performance, they'll definitely be a tough opponent for us. And I feel like they'll be harder than IG.
Oh, you think they'll be more difficult than IG, a more difficult opponent?
Yeah, I think they can play better. They have a higher peak, I think, just based off their players. Like I've seen what they can do, so I'm a bit more worried about them. I mean, we lost to IG, but I think maybe if we play a bit better or draft a bit differently, then I think we'll beat IG next time.
Now, what do you think of the rest of the teams at Worlds? Are there any that you think are main contenders to make it to finals?
Probably SKT. I think that's an obvious one, but I don't know. Just from playing against the Asian teams like Korea and China, I feel like they play really well, but they haven't really shown too much on stage besides SKT. So maybe they're just not playing too comfortable on stage yet, the newer teams. But I'd say SKT, and then it's hard to say who else is really like a contender for finals. I mean, obviously Team Liquid, but yeah.
What do you think of G2? I don't know if you've had a chance to scrim them or not, but it feels like the narrative going into this where people are like, Asian teams, maybe SKT, but there was so much obsession with G2 and Fnatic. I'm kind of curious what you think of them.
I think they're good, but like I said, I think the Asian teams, specifically China and Korea, looks a bit stronger to me just based off playing against them. But I mean, G2 is a very versatile team, so with the mages in the bot lane, it could favor them for sure. I don't know really where to rank them right now. They're playing against Griffin soon, so I think that will give me a better indicator. But I don't know. Right now, I feel like maybe Korea or China looks a bit stronger than G2.
It's interesting to me. You guys are pretty open about doing interviews after this loss. There were a lot of other teams that are not doing them, and some teams even who aren't doing interviews after a win if they didn't feel really great about the win. I'm kind of curious, are you guys just playing for a better mental space right now, or I mean, what's stopping you guys from all having pretty good faces after the loss?
This interview was kind of forced upon me, not gonna lie. But I mean, I don't really mind too much. I think if it's a tough loss, I'll feel bad and maybe I don't want to do it. But I don't know. I think it's important to do press at the same time, but also just I don't know. It wasn't too bad of a loss, and I'm optimistic about the future. So.
Well, I mean, the reason I asked was less about you guys do media, other teams don't. More about just yesterday when I interviewed Peter, he was saying that there's kind of a strategy this year for you guys on practice where it's more on solo queue, less on scrims, trying to keep life more balanced, trying to keep your mental state in a better place. And I don't know if that's sort of what is allowing you guys, or do you feel like you're in a better place this Worlds than maybe others after a loss because of that?
I mean, to me personally, I don't know how it was with Liquid last year, but it's been a lot less stressful for me. I don't know. Last year was a lot more tense for me on Cloud9. Very stressful environment, I'd say. So I'm definitely feeling more relaxed, and I don't know. I feel like we're playing decent. I think when we came into this world, we weren't the best team, but I think we're learning a lot and improving pretty fast. So I don't know. I'm just optimistic about the future, I guess.
Do you think there's like a bit of a gamble that's happening right now with TL where it's sort of like, okay, how do you balance like the extreme practice and sort of that riding that burnout line with keeping yourself able to feel comfortable going up on stage?
For sure. I think that's something we are thinking about, but we're definitely not like going light on the schedule. I heard some EU teams are going way lighter than us, in fact. I don't know. We're still like playing like a good amount every day, like 5 days on non-LCS days, non-Worlds days, and then we play a bit after our stage games as well. So I don't know. I think we're practicing a good amount.
When you say EU teams are going light on schedule, do you mean like just less scrims or just less practice or?
Just less scrims. So I guess it's like more relaxed in a way because I don't know. I think the toughest part about Worlds is when you scrim a lot and you play against teams who are better than you and they just smack you. And then I think you just get frustrated with each other and maybe you can like lose trust with your teammates if it's going too bad. So I think maybe that's what they're trying to avoid.
Oh, very good. Hey, is there anything that you want to say to any of the TL fans?
Thank you guys for supporting us and see you tomorrow, maybe.
Oh, one last question. We're about to see Cloud9 play for the first time. How do you think they're going to do?
They're playing against... Who are they playing against?
Hong Kong esports. But I also just mean generally speaking in group stage, how do you think they're going to do?
They're definitely in a tough group, so it's hard to say, but they always, I think Reaper like always makes sure to have like really good preparation for these best of one games and have like some like edgy picks, cheese picks maybe. So I think they could make it out of these groups if they prepare pretty well.
Yeah. Do you think this is a good Worlds for cheese picks?
I
just watched a Garen Yumi situation earlier. So.
Yeah, I mean it feels like you can play pretty much anything, and there's a lot of like niche picks that we haven't seen yet. So for sure.
Well, either way, thank you so much, Jensen, for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that interview. I enjoyed making it. It's so great to be at Worlds, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Alienware. That's right, I know you've heard their name in these outros before, but you're hearing it again because I am back here in Europe. It's been a while, and I'm really happy. I couldn't do it without them. Please go check out alienware.com/Travis. You wouldn't be watching this interview without them.